Into somewhere where shadows crawl, truth erased, perceptions throw. Jake and Cody, voices rise, cut through venom, cut through lies. Into somewhere, live on the screen. Jake and Cody, chasing that dream.
Yeah, hit go live, let the chat fill. Kill that mic, yeah, we that real. You talk views, I talk will. I got the skill, and since you lack still. Thumbnail tight, got a card on cue. Breaking down spots that they all slept through. On board deep, crowd stuff.
Yo, we clutched up in Toronto, 11 nation chamber, steel cage settings, cutthroat behavior, shake on the mic, spaz up in the dome, review game so tight, call it YouTube home. In the summer when we breaking it down, Thea, John Cena tearing up the town. Broke half on fire, no one spit it better. Reef-wing like a beast, no one does it clever.
How the hell are we? I'm a bit shocked. Femi is no more. Oh my goodness. Woo! How we doing, chat? Into Somewhere, Tuesday, January 6th, 2026. We just witnessed the main event, Femi, Leon Slater, 2026 match of the year so far. How we doing? We got the one, the only, the man, myth, the legend himself in here with us. It's Cody Onidi 316.
What's going on? NXT was better than Raw. SmackDown was better than Raw. Raw was a ghost town of irrelevance. So there's that.
Yeah, wasn't great. Left a lot to be desired, unfortunately. This show was good. It was good, but it wasn't great. It was good. There was a lot of hype going into this, justifiably so, and I feel like this is one of those things that's going to weigh on me emotionally, and I'm going to need some time to truly formulate all my opinions. But Femi walking out like that, why couldn't they have given it to Leon Slater? Been like, look, he's the future, he's the youngest, and we've seen them give people 2-week title reigns in NXT. They just did it with Thea tonight, which was strange, and we'll get into that as well. But I don't know, chat. Hopefully everybody's doing well tonight. Glad to have everyone here, everyone on TikTok, everyone on Twitter. Thank you all for joining us. Make sure you follow, hit the like button, and all that jazz. Cody, what are your immediate thoughts? Hit me here, because I'm in the clouds and I'm a bit overwhelmed. Honestly, that's how I feel with this. I'm a little under and overwhelmed.
Like Monroe seems to be getting called up to the main roster.
Yeah, that's a definite now, and that happened ahead of their schedule. So NXT apparently didn't have her on the call-ups that were happening from Saturday night's main event. Everybody on Saturday night's main event with Cena on the last one there, his final match, got to go ahead and basically that was their call up. That was their meal ticket. We got Javon signing during a Raw commercial break. That's not bouncy. That's a little insulting. So that has me worried. Now they brought Blake up early. They're like, yes, we need her right now. Let's take her. And they had a story in the middle of it's happening with Thea. And how do they wrap it up? You're banned from the building.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know?
yeah. I mean, I thought Obafemi was going to retain. That's not a surprise here. The way that they had him retain to just drop the title in the ring. Did you see what Oba did? I was waiting for him to attack somebody or some payoff, something different, some change. And instead, that's not what we got. And what we did get was a whole lot of, hey, my sounds work again, I think. Gonna be careful. We don't want Travis Scott showing up. Regardless, this is a lot to process because they've done this so many times with NXT. Harken back to Asuka and many others where they go up and they're unbeaten and any type like Obafemi doesn't have a total unbeaten record. He's not going up on an unbeaten streak, but it's hard to imagine he's going to lose much going up there. So they're going to have to protect him. They're going to have things thought out in advance. My worry is the only thing they see right now is moments. Obafemi's big. Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. Obafemi and Omos. Obafemi and... When we know he's a great wrestler. He's more than just a spectacle. He's more than Man Mountain. He's more than big, damn it. I wonder if they're going to keep the fake Nigerian accent, but it's almost endearing at this point how well he does it. Still, romance scam or not, Obafemi, I thought he would be called up. What did we say? Stand and Deliver last year in the Triple Threat? Oi, oi, oi. We had predicted it all the way back then, last April. We're like, what else is left for him to do? And this year, he just put on great matches and he continued to conquer, but there was no reason to keep him there. NXT, when NXT benefits from you being there and you don't benefit from being in NXT, that's when it's time to leave. That's my quote. When they no longer benefit you and you're benefiting them, you have outgrown the use of NXT. Ricky, Blake, great ideas. Move them up. Obafemi needed to be called up a long time ago, just like Trick. There's quite a few people that need to be called up. All of Fatal Influence, pretty much, 2/3 of them anyways. Fallon Henley and Jacy Jayne have been there for a long time, very long time. I mean, they were originally Mandy Rose's proteges, and that was back before and starting in the COVID times. Oh, I said the evil word, the era.
You can't say, Jake.
Sorry.
Look at her into somewhere bank account. YouTube got us already.
Already?
Yeah.
That was fast.
Look at that big fat negative.
Negative 15 cents. Bastard. Weird how they charge me pennies and you thousands. Got to be something with the brain malformation. They must feel bad. Regardless, the Chiari Kid here bringing you the latest in news. And what is that? Blake's moving up. Oh, yeah. Obafemi relinquishes the title. Izzi Dame wins big tonight. And of all ways they could have done it, she lost earlier. So people are like, how could she lose and then go on to win a title later? That's not the issue. She took advantage of the situation. The culling helped her. They threw the ref into the ring. They attacked the timekeeper. They kept everybody else at bay. We'll get into it fully, but do people not remember when Seth Rollins had the heist of the century at WrestleMania? What happened earlier in the night, Cody?
The heist of the... he lost to Randy Orton, right?
Yeah, right. The stomp of all stomps. I love that into the RKO. That's an all-time classic, right? But that memorable moment wouldn't have happened if we didn't have him lose against Randy. That was Randy's, attack against all of the authority and him getting even with them and his face turn. So that really sold that, oh, yeah, they're never going to come back out and challenge, go ahead and use up his money in the bank. It's not happening. But that, lo and behold, is what happened. And that's what they did with Izzi. Her losing early on, not only does it give the final payoff to Tatum so she can move on, essentially, but now they can also take this feud, and if they want to continue it, now it's for a title again. So it's got like that kind of realm to it. A lot of this worked tonight, but I will mention a few things that didn't. One of which being, the tag division is just non-existent at this point, huh? NXT having one of the best overall tag divisions, and then they go ahead and slowly but surely over time, it just kind of dwindles down, it disappears, they're forgotten about, and this is what we get into. So it's upsetting. It really is, because who's the tag team champions right now?
For
NXT.
NXT. Tell me, Jake.
I had to double check too. It's Dark State.
Oh yeah, Dark State.
I forgot because they did that whole thing where they changed the belt over when they moved things around. They had to.
You want to know? I suggest
it. What's that?
Even this might sound like a bad idea, but how the women's tag team titles are like allowed to be on all three brands.
Yeah,
I would say do that for the men's as well.
Really?
Yeah.
So let that go, like one set of tag titles that goes between all the shows, and this way there's always like a set of champions to go after, and that would be better. That is a damn good thought. Dane Cook had that. What do they call it? Where you're not plagiarizing something intentionally, but it's like you've heard it before, and it's in your mind. Because I said that idea for the past 15 fucking years, Cody.
Yeah,
I said they should have had floating tag champions this entire time, because that's what they've needed. They don't have a thick enough or massive enough roster to go ahead and manage just a couple of tag teams all the time. Like the tag division on SmackDown was really good and hot and interesting for 6 months, right? And then it died again. Why? Because there's 6 teams and there's only so many times you can see them interchangeably face off before you're like, how many times the Motor City Machine Guns face the Street Profits, it just gets tiresome. How do you solve that? Mix it up without a brand split. So, but yes, sir.
Sorry. I just had to read my notifications on Twitter. You know how those go.
I know how that is. You've been severely beaten all day by people that I'm assuming they think it's really real. I'm getting worried.
The only 2 good ones, they can have their moments too, but the only 2 actually normal ones on there are probably Liz Anarchy and Maddie Mania. Those are the ones that seem most stable out of the bunch. Well, do you see them compared to the rest?
That sounds terrible. That's like saying oh, Ted Bundy wasn't as bad as the guy that killed 50 people, right?
Bro, you're not. That's wild.
I closed my case. Yeah, I should have been a lawyer. Would have been a great attorney.
You have a time traveling lawyer.
I do. Problem is, I ran out of to pay him, and that shit's expensive around here, especially on the streets. You know what I'm saying? And it gets pricey to buy over and over. But oh god, I'm knocking mail over. This new boot that they gave me is too small. Go figure. It's like trying to put on, you're putting sausage into the casing that doesn't fit. It's like an extra small condom, or a normal one, whatever you want to call it, Cody. But regardless, it's just, there's a little bit of foot hanging off, and it's driving me nuts, and I'm bumping into everything. Regardless, Yeah, I'm going to see how many times I can say that tonight. I've got an over-under of about 50. It's intentional. I'm failing to understand why even engage at this point. And then I saw, and you're like, oh, I saw. Yep, I totally get it. I see why you're doing, because they really think it's real to an insane extent. At first, I thought they were like role playing these people on Twitter, like pretending to be like the wrestlers and stuff. But no.
Well,
it's
I
their
thought that
account
as well. That's why I would. Then you like Cody. They're actually thinking it's real. So because I'm actually just trying to have a conversation with.
Yeah, we
And
thought
it
it
really
was a
got-
joke, but no, they're really they're in it deep. Oh
You know-
boy, do they think it's real. It's a bit of a glorious thing. So yeah, you've
So-
sent me a few highlights today, and it's been interesting because yeah.
Give me a few more people on this NXT since we'll try to keep it NXT based before we go. Who on NXT do you think should also be called up that hasn't officially been called up yet? And where
Ethan
should they go?
Page. Send him to SmackDown.
Do you agree with me that everyone should go to SmackDown?
Yep. I'm just gonna make it easy. Yeah.
Okay. Like Monroe, SmackDown
Absolutely.
or Raw?
No, SmackDown. I think
Well,
she's needed
A
on
lot of people said
SmackDown.
she was going to Raw, but apparently Sean was fed bad information according to an agent that represents a lot of those wrestlers. Sean Rossap was fed bad information.
Yeah, exactly. Cody, earmuffs, buddy.
Bro.
It's as real as Santa Claus, guys. We don't want to spoil it for Cody, so just we know, but yeah. Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah. So, who else should have been called up? Izzy Dame should have been called up. I feel like she's one that can kind of learn on the fly. As I said, Jacy, Jayne, Fallon Henley, as you mentioned. I like that they're pushing people like Kendal Gray from Evolve and some of the other people, like, work on the future. Yes, that is a good thing. But past that, it's like, there's some people that have been down there forever. All right, Blake Monroe's going up. Call up Booker T. I think that is desperately needed so we can get someone else on the headset.
I like it. Oh, yeah, man.
What do you think? No? All right. So
No.
we'll leave Booker where he is. Andre Chase has been down there forever. Brooks Jensen, forget it. Stax is an interesting case. He needs more time to marinate. He's trying to still be the mafia guy, but without being the mafia guy. So he's Italian, and fought two pots. Here's the problem. Tony D is trying to be Batman lurking in the shadows, except he got lost on his way to the arena. And no one's found him for weeks. So he's somewhere in the Orlando area. Probably, if I know him, he's roaming with all the heads and probably trading blow for a few hits. Because where's Tony been besides that? The last thing we saw was him on a bridge. And we know what goes on under the bridge, right, my little chili pepper?
You know it.
Absolutely. So, Dark State, fuck it. Call him up. While you're at it, call up Corey Graves, too. Now, I like Corey on NXT. He's working. Ethan Page, Hank and Tank do not need to be in NXT. These guys cannot get much older. It feels like they're probably like 26. Watch. Let's find out. So, Hank Walker. Let's see. He is age on here. 27. Thought he was like 45. Sorry, Hank. What about Tank? About the same age. All right, so I'm an asshole, but that's okay. I didn't mean it rudely or anything, right? It's not like I'm jealous of these guys, right?
You're jealous?
No. I mean, like, not like green with envy. Like I would, do anything to be in their shoes. I wouldn't. I wouldn't blow up a school of nuns to go ahead and trade places with them. Yes, yeah, I wouldn't. No. Ah, damn it. All right. Yeah, he's 27. No, really. That shocks me. I thought he was at least 30. But no, granted, My friend, who else could be on this list? Jada Parker could probably be called up. Sol Ruka and is up, right? But is Zarya? She is definitely, I believe. I thought they were going together. But Ren Sinclair needs a little bit more time. She hasn't done a ton on the mic or with the title, even though she's good in the ring. Maybe you could argue Tatum. I mean, they could really do the refresh. I'm surprised Tony D didn't get pulled up.
Well, people said Tatum should be called up as well,
Yeah.
A lot of those NXT fans.
She's been down there for a while.
Who do you have?
Tank is 26. Yeah, Tank looks 26.
From Evolve? Who do you have from Evolve?
I would just take the champs, Kendal Gray and guy with main belt. What's his name? Jackson Drake.
Jackson Drake. Okay. I don't watch Evolve at all. That's just something I don't. I'm sorry.
I don't keep up with it. Like I'll watch if someone says like, "Oh, you absolutely should watch this match." No matter the company, I usually check it out. And there's been a few on Evolve.
Yeah.
Problem is, it's taped. So right away, I'm like, and then it's taped so long in advance.
Don't they do what NXT used to do, like Black and Gold?
Way out
NXT
though.
Was, yeah.
Except they tape it very far out, so it's hard to follow. Like they really just wait for the editing narrative to save the day there. I'm a fan of Jackson Drake. I really like Kendal Gray. I told you a while ago that she was going to be good and evolve and that she would ascend quickly. Lo and behold, that's the case. So, creative plans from Sports Illustrated. They're saying it too. Blake Monroe is joining the main roster with a number of other NXT talents who have received their invites. So, Sean Ross Sapp confirms this as well. Her main roster call-up has been discussed for a little bit now. The move was discussed in recent weeks, while some on the Raw brand will be believing she will end up there. There was also discussions that the immediate plans with Blake are ever-changing as soon as this week. As we know, this happened tonight. So basically, she attacks Thea Hale in the beginning of the show, and from there, she's banned from the building, and that's her NXT run. She didn't do that much, but she accomplished a lot in very little. She got herself more over than she was. She made new fans. She developed a bit more of her character. You saw the duality of like the good versus evil Mariah May versus Blake Monroe thing that's going on, which is very interesting. I mean, she was timeless Tony before Tony was, realistically. I really like Blake Monroe. She's going to be a hell of a star in the main roster. And I'm excited to see what her and everyone else do. Hopefully they make a splash. I worry when they move them up in groups like this instead of one at a time here and there, that they end up getting lost in the shuffle. It happened when they had that big NXT call-up, that Vince did. And that went pretty much nowhere. Who did they call up? DIY, Aleister Black. Do you remember anybody else, Cody? I'm trying to think.
From where?
From when Vince called them up on the main roster. I'm trying to think. There was like a 4-pack of them. I think Nikki Cross was one in that as well at that point. But there was a few like NXT call-ups that they had. And the problem is that they always presented them as a group so much akin to Nexus and whatnot. No one outshined one another. They all just kind of fell to the wayside together. And that's what I don't want to see happen. So hopefully they give everybody the time they need. But there's quite a bit of talent there that's going up to the main roster. So I'm excited. Who are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments. And Cody, who are you looking forward to being called up the most?
Javon Evans. I think he's gonna kill it on the main roster. I've been saying this for months, by the way, that he should be up. I think Trick Williams is gonna be. Basically all of them. Blake Monroe.
Yeah, I'm exceptionally excited for one person in particular because I feel like their wrestling is above many others there, but their mic skills is also at that fever pitch point.
I like it. Oh, yeah,
That's right, Trick Williams. Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me to hold on a second, like let you talk. Regardless, yeah, I am most excited about Trick. Let me know what your superstar is that you're looking forward to the most. tonight's NXT New Year's Evil. It was a good show, Cody Ray. I was happy with it. It wasn't an entire home run. Not exactly like I thought it would be, but it was still damn good. We're going to get into that point now where there's a little bit of growing pains due to the transitioning of stars moving up to the main roster, people adjusting into new roles, people that weren't going for titles now in the mid-card moving up to the main card section. So you've got to see how they flesh things out and how they develop, but there's not a ton of stories right now that are immediately like grabbing me. Ethan Page versus the World. It's interesting, but how much is left in that tank? What really does he have left to do in NXT? He had the main title. He did a great job with that. He won it 40 days in. Come on, give us something different. Let him be called up and go for US or IC title. That's where the money is. Granted, we start off the show and we see everybody arriving. Thea Hale comes out, and right as she's finishing up her entrance, there's Blake Monroe, kind of like Joe Hendry. You say her name, she appears, and Blake comes out. I do believe Blake waffled the shit out of her here. She slams poor Thea into the stairs a bunch, then basically tosses her through the barricade. And I love NXT humor because these are the stupid, silly little slapstick things that I really enjoy. The fact that they had caution tape over the broken barricade for the rest of the night broke me. I died laughing with that, genuinely. When I ever saw it later on, I'm like, it's simple stuff like that just me. Like, Ava's so incompetent. She's like, how do you want to fix the barricade? And she's like, just put some tape over it. Like, yeah, there you go. It's great. I love it. It fits with her creative spontaneity. So yeah, she beats the shit out of poor Thea, throws her into and through everything, and they're on the headsets basically like, I hope we still get the match. I don't know. Your champions laying on the ground waiting for the medics.
That's one thing. I have to sometimes watch NXT on mute because their commentary stinks.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, I don't mind it. Honestly, Vic Joseph is not the problem. It's Booker, because
he's not the problem. No, Vic Joseph's a great commentator.
Booker goes all over the place.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't like Booker as a commentator, and I can't even tell sometimes if he's supposed to be a face commentator or a heel commentator.
He jumps all over the place. He contradicts himself. I'll get to a point in tonight. It'll come back to me. But he made one point, and Vic was like, what are you talking about? You just spent the entire last 10 minutes arguing one way. And then when it happens, you're like, oh, that's not fair. It really is like a special case of stupid at some points. Booker.
I like it.
I like you, but you make it tough, baby. You make it tough. If only he would listen.
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
Makes it what?
Deep. So we head into what I thought would be our first match, but no, Ricky Saints comes out, making his entrance, looking like $1 million check signed and ready to cash. I love how they do this. They just keep the show going. The medics are tending to Thea, so let's get Ricky out there. Like, come on, we gotta go. We're not gonna stay and just watch her get loaded into the stretcher, and we're moving on. I like the realism factor that they throw in there every now and again. If only they stuck to it just a little bit more, it could be really damn good to have those, not necessarily fourth wall breaking moments, but you're seeing past the script, so it makes you feel like it's real. Ricky Saints comes out and cuts a superb promo. And he's like, but NXT needs me. He's like, Javon and Trick, they picked to be a free agent because they can't compare to me. And he's like, there's one star in NXT and it's me, and there's only room for me. And he's like, if you're ready to come at me, then whether you're from a locker room or the indies, you'll be sent back to where you came from because you're not absolute. Love it. Love it. He's like, I slipped last year, but I didn't fall. He's like, NXT and the NXT title will be in the hands that will be absolute. I fear that him being there as well is going to be, all right, he's great. How are you going to make him champion and then call him up immediately? Like, or are you going to keep him here forever? Like, either way, it doesn't sound great. Like, they should have just called him up as well, because now what? He's here for another 6 months. He gets the title. He holds on to it. He whoops that trick. He goes through it all, and then he holds on to the title again.
He whoops that trick, bro.
Yeah. So I'm not. I guess they didn't want Blake Monroe to lose, so they didn't have her and Thea Hale face each other. But I would have just rather, I guess, I don't know. It's weird the way they did it, and I'm not a crazy fan. Like, I get, all right, so she attacked her, so now Blake's out of the match. She's banned from the building. Thea's stubborn. She still wants to defend. She's backstage.
Were there rumors about this match being canceled earlier in the day, because Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter saying that he was the one that gave everyone the Easter eggs that this was happening, so he's right.
Yeah, from what I heard, it wasn't so much that it was canceled, but they wanted people to speculate that it wasn't going to happen, so what would happen. Interesting the way they did it, because you've got Thea Hale just kind of limping along, and in the back, she's like, no, I'm gonna do it. I got it. She gets out there. This is the one thing I don't like. They let all the women look like jackasses run into the ring all at once. And the security is holding them all back. I like how at sometimes it takes 10 security guards to stop one female. And then at other times, one guard can stop 19 females from marching forward. So the two security guards hold them back. And that's when Tatum comes out and clears out the entire women's mid-card because she's got a freaking chainsaw. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
A motherfucking chainsaw. Skim your ass raw. You know? My day just keeps going this way. I just might. Oh. Come on, Cody. Break something tonight. You failed. Sorry.
Sorry.
Granted, West Borland hates you.
Yeah.
This match was a match that matched all matches too, because what happens? They don't give it to Tatum. No, that would be too easy. They give it to Izzi Dame, who's already in the ring, and she's like, even though you beat me before, I screwed you with the help of the culling. The culling throws the ref in. They start the match, and they get the belt off of Thea. It was a bit embarrassing. Why not keep it on Thea? She had a 2-week reign. I know it was a mistake, but could she not have held on to it for a couple of matches, have maybe 2 more successful title defenses? Now, none of that is there, so she feels like a fluke, just a mistake, a botch. A little asterisk always next to, asterisk next to the side of her name. That's all we're going to get. That's upsetting. Hopefully she wins the title again and they let her ascend. They really have the mindset in this company that you have to lose in order to win. And that's what they're doing with Braun Breaker. That's what they did with Cody forever. That's their MO. Braun had to lose so he can possibly win at Mania. We'll see what comes of it, my friend. But Izzi Dame and Thea have a limited match. What sucks is now Thea has to sell the attack from Blake like she's severely injured. So every time she's trying to make a comeback and Izzi blocks the springboard, she hits her with a big kick and knocks her down. And all right, so Thea gets her in the Kimura, but then she gets her with an exploder suplex, and you get little bits and little bits. Come on. I don't know. She's just got to keep selling the injury. She's selling the injury. She's hurt. And the match is over. That was it. That's what happened. That was all of it. So Thea doesn't get any type of like even impressive match because she's doing the story side of it, but the physicality's not there. She hits her with the Super Sky High. Everybody celebrates with Izzi. Congrats to her on her first title win. I'm very cautious about this one working.
I'm shocked. I didn't understand this one at all, though.
Now they're going to go back to Izzi and Tatum again. because she cut Tatum off for the title. So now, like, we'll just move their feud to the North American title
Even
for the women.
See, this is always a problem in wrestling when you have to come up with 20 different ideas just for it to try to make sense. And Nate said that Travis Scott is back and that he's currently with me.
Oh, Jesus. You don't want to do... Is he conscious or is he just that high?
I think so. I would hope so.
You can borrow my shit. You got it here. Just make sure you safety first. You got to be careful. Finger off the...
Oh, shit. Now what?
Run. No, just, you still got that business card?
I think so.
Yeah, just call the number on the back and tell them you need a large
what?
Large cheese to go. Make sure you say it.
Large cheese to go.
Yeah. And the pizza guy will come take care of it in no time. Hut! That Tom Brady commercial does make me laugh with him. Hut! Pizza Hut! No, just me. Can't stand him, but it was funny. They'll take care of it. Remember that time that I told you to take care of it and you looked up wet work like an idiot in the Craigslist ad and that guy pissed all over us? Remember?
Oh, Jesus.
It wasn't what we asked for? No. That was the last time I let you handle things. Just let the pizza guy take care of it.
Okay.
Tell him,
Next time, let the pizza guy take care of it.
Tell him you need 2 cheese pizzas.
2?
Right? Babe.
And under whose name, though?
3 cheese pizzas. Yours. With pepperoni.
You sure you don't want me to do your name?
With pepperoni. You get the discount. What do you think? Izzy's going to stay champ? I don't think she's going to hold this belt long.
This is going to be a very short-term hot potato reign.
Yeah, this is kind of confusing, and I'm not sure where they're going with it. It feels like they're going right back to her and Tatum, but hey, I'm not sure. I don't mind the campiness. I don't mind the cringy stuff that people don't like. The dolls, the chainsaw, the goth stuff with Tatum. That stuff works for me. It's not supernatural. She's just crazy. It's like Spaz said, gotta love crazy chicks. But this didn't feel like it. This is just lacking something. It hurt Thea. It didn't make Izzy look strong either because it took her 10 minutes to beat an injured Thea Hale. I mean, 10 minutes. Thea Hale. She's tiny. She's like, Smurfette. Getting smurfed by all the Smurfs. And she had a Smurf. Yeah, you didn't know I spoke Smurfese, did you? Kickoff to this show that they gave us was that Tatum Paxley Izzy Dame match. And I like Tatum. I like Izzy. This lost any of the emotional weight to me after Izzy beat her at the last PLE. Since then, I don't give 2 shits. It feels like Tatum shouldn't have lost. Izzy won, but Izzy gained nothing by winning. And then Tatum screwing with him anyways by leaving the dolls and creeping on them. It was a good match. Don't get me wrong. It was a really good match. I like Tatum's offense. I cannot say that enough.
Alrighty.
But you got to go work on your special assignment.
Get the pizza, I guess.
All right, go get remember, we need 3, right? 1, 2,
No, it's
3.
3.
Is he still moving? All right, hold on. 1, 2,
moving.
4. Just make it pepperoni. 4 pepperoni pizzas.
Wait, what do you mean moving?
You
mean like sleeping, right?
Don't fuck this up. 4 large pepperoni pizzas and get garlic bread.
Garlic bread.
Yeah.
All right.
That's just because I'm actually hungry, but don't come back without the garlic bread for
real. And we'll find out the results tomorrow night on how I did.
Yes. Hopefully.
Right. Later, guys.
Blessed be. Everybody, you can find Cody at Judgment Day Era on Twitter, or you can go ahead and find him on Instagram at Cody_Onidi_316. Yeah.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Thank you to Cody for being here. This intro was not bad. So we start off with the chaos of Thea being attacked. We go into immediately Ricky cutting an awesome promo. That got me hyped. Like, oh, is Thea going to be able to defend her title? Is her and Blake's match going to happen? A whole lot of unknowns, a whole lot of what ifs. And then we get this good match between Tatum and Izzi. And that's what it was. It was a good match. Wasn't great. I mean, the crowd is chanting, this is awesome. They killed it in the ring. It's just I was missing the emotional level that they had me with a couple weeks back. Since then, I feel like the story has fallen off. We got a vignette for the French luchador. Elo Lefleur is there, and Elio Lefleur, Elio, whatever you want to say it, Lefleur. Nate, it's all right, man. If you or anyone you love has been affected by Travis Scott disease, just go ahead and use your 9. I'm telling you, it's the only thing that helps. Silver. We got right into it. Jordan Grace checking on Thea Hale, and she's talking her up, and her and Blake, old enemies. So basically, she's like, hey, you could delay the match until you're healed. And that's when Thea Hale is like, no, I'm going to do it. Drag her back. And Ava's like, no, I banned her from the building. So she's like, well, then we're going to have an open challenge. We got the next match, the NXT Women's Champion, Jayne, coming out there. Fatal Influence taking on Evolve's champion, Kendal Gray, with the Ren QCC's own Ren Sinclair. Kendal was kicking ass early on. She really dominated with all her amateur moves early on. It looked really good to see like her have this technical prowess that Jacy couldn't keep up with. The crowd was really receptive for this. And all of a sudden, Jacy deadlifts Kendal and just slams her as hard as she could into the barricade. That looked brutal. And then she hits her with a cannonball. I'm like, forget it. I couldn't take that. Oh God, brutal. So basically I have a piece of hair in my eye. Don't you love that when you can see it but you can't find it and it won't go away, but it's somewhere. It's right there. I can still see it, but YouTuber problems. Kendal goes ahead. She goes back and forth, and every time she puts her, into a submission maneuver, she found a way to have the team interfere. They'd either distract the ref, like Laney go ahead and she drags Gray out and she's punching her, and that's after Fallon Henley pretty much did the same on the ropes. So they all just keep getting involved, and then Gray is basically going for the shades of gray, and Fallon Henley gets involved one last time. She grabs Jacy's tights to cause Gray to slip. And that's when Jacy hits her with her finish, the rolling encore. Takes her down. 12-minute, 30-second match. Excellent TV match. A lot of people were upset with the distraction finish. That's Fatal Influences. That's their bag, baby. That's their game. That's what they do. They cheat. And even if it wasn't necessary, she could have beat Kendal without cheating, possibly. But they want to kind of leave it ambiguous. Like, could she have? Maybe not. Jacy's done really well as a champion over the last 365 days. Surprising to say that. Really, it's only been the last half year. But think about all she's done since first winning that title from Stephanie Vakaka. That was a hell of a win and unexpected. And since then, off to the races. Jacy's just been excellent. She's been killing it. So I don't mind the distraction finish. I mind the fact that the ref clearly saw Fallon interfering while Kendal was, getting her ass beat. And you should have been able to see it. But all right. Laney's right there distracting the ref, and the ref can straight line of sight. Maybe they try that, from a different angle next time. But all in all, it was still a really damn good match. Up until this point, it was my favorite match of the night. I really wish we had the men's tag team titles being defended or something like that on this show. The men's tag division underrepresented. We had time for Ethan Page, and I love Ethan Page, but this was nonsense. He came out there basically to introduce a bunch of future or potential challengers. That was it. One after the other, we got people coming out. So while Ethan Page is out there, he manages to just basically talk himself into a potential feud with quite a few of these. But Jasper Troy comes out first and right? No, excuse me. Yes. Jasper Troy comes out first. And, at this point, it's like, all right, the speed champion, Jasper Troy, the man with the big chain around his neck. He's like, you're the only person to dominate 2025. Yay. And I am there too. And he's like, I destroyed everybody in LFG. I snatched the speed title. I don't think Jasper knows that's not as much of a flex as he thinks it is. There's no way that he's losing, not a way in hell. And I cannot believe that Jasper Troy can beat Ethan Page. I don't believe that Tavon Heights or Stacks can beat Ethan Page. I don't believe that Briggs can beat Ethan Page. I don't like the fact that Discord likes to mute my mic randomly and I can't tell because Cody's not here. And that's not going to beat Ethan Page. Thank you, Coot. But granted, I know they have to take time to work and develop, but it feels like they could have been doing this all along. A lot of people should have been elevated long ago. They hung on quite a few of the same names for a long time. Joe Hendry was a big one that was interchangeable. Oh, you need a person to feud with? We got Joe Hendry for you. whether it's about the NXT title, the TNA title, the North American title, whatever you want him to be, he'll be there. Joe Hendry has a match next week against Dark State. I wonder how long till he gets called up as well. We'll see. I don't mind the goofball, crazy, hectic comedy that NXT brings. Honestly, I am not negative with it at all. I am excited for silliness when it works. But when it doesn't, it stands out. Hank and Tank weren't bad in the back, but they're just kind of doing their thing. What are they? Do they not want the tag titles back? Or it just feels like a lot of people are left floating and directionless right now. We did see Zarya and Sol Ruka. They briefly were confronting Fatal Influence, and they were kind of going after each other. That was it for that. And Joe Hendry versus Dion Lennox. It's going to be a no DQ match. Joe Hendry said first he's going to take him on, then he's going to get some friends to defend him, probably Hank and Tank. Jasper Troy, Tavon Heights for the speed title. Lola Vice and Kalani Jordan got into it in the locker room. Again, leaves a lot to be desired, and that's for sure. We saw quite a few times they had these little backstage vignettes that just, they're trying. I'll give them that much, but the wrestling was damn good. Then we got to the main event. TNA President Carlos Silva's in the crowd. Leon Slater comes out to a huge ovation. Oba Femi breaks the walls down. Funny how many times they said that yesterday. We head into Oba Femi just tossing Leon around the ring. As soon as the bell hits, he throws him around like a, circus performer, and he's just to the left, to the right, and to the back. Throws Leon all over, and Oba the entire time just using his strength and his massive size and his power to just keep Leon down. Every time he rallies, he would get chopped, and it would only take one as compared to Leon's 15 that he delivered. One hit, one kick, and Leon was down every time, as where Leon is delivering a flurry of offense, multiple strikes, multiple hits, multiple kicks. Nothing is penetrating, nothing is getting through. All of a sudden, Slater tries to get out of it and tries to go for a dive, but Oba catches him out of the air, hits him with a backbreaker and a close near fall. And he basically dumps him out to ringside at the commercial break, and he's beating him down. And that's when Slater breaks the walls down by hitting him with a code breaker. Again, how many references are we getting in that? No Jericho yet. So we go ahead and we see these two. They lock back up in the ring. And it seems like, Oba Femi's knee is bothering him a bit now. So first Oba's working on Leon. Then Leon basically dodges a knee and sends Oba's knee into the post. And from there, Oba's knee is really sore. He continues to sell it. These two battle back and forth. Oba goes for a big clothesline, but all of a sudden his knee gives out, and that's when Slater hits him with a big body slam, which was crazy. Lifts him up, Leon. Don't know how he did that. Oba obviously helped and positioned himself. He posted himself for that, but damn, that was a hell of a moment. And all of a sudden, Leon rolls up Oba for a really, really close near fall after hitting the Swanton 450, and he ends up hitting the knees instead. Oba catches him, hits him with fall from Grace. 1, 2, 3. And still, our NXT champion, 11-minute match, 11 minutes, 5 seconds is what I had it at. Oba Femi defeats Leon Slater. And Oba does his entrance pose with his legs open and, doing the strut. And it cuts to GM Ava in the back because they hung on Oba for a while. And I'm like, oh, someone's going to attack or come out or talk, but we're running quick on time. We got to go. But that's not it. So right as Ava's talking to people saying that there's going to be spots that need filling, and Robert Stone storms his ass in there. He busts in. Ava, have you seen what Oba just did? So we're all thinking, did he attack somebody? Did he hurt somebody? Did he end somebody's career? Nope. Motherfucker said, I quit. He left his belt in the center of the ring. Wow. Leon Slater was never a real challenge to Obafemi. Javon had a bit more of a decisive attempted victory than Leon could have, funny enough. But wow, I'm assuming Leon's going to be signing to WWE as soon as his contract's up later in the year. Regardless, Obafemi going up to the main roster, I hope they utilize and use him properly. This was a damn good match, but Leon never stood a chance. Everything tonight felt like a huge foregone conclusion every time you matched it up. Izzi, you knew, was going to beat Thea once they had the challenge. You knew Jacy wasn't going to lose to Kendal because she's still stuck in Evolve. You knew Tatum was going to get her win back from Izzi early on. So that also took a little bit away from the night. Like, it was a fun show. I'm glad I watched it. Entertaining, but on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe 7, 7.5 is maybe a little bit pushing it. Probably a 7. Feels right. Slater did well. The main event was a lot of fun. I give him credit for that. You know, he was able to sell the David versus Goliath ending that I was picturing. But again, hey, Oba was dropping the title, so why couldn't you have had Leon win it anyways? Oh, we don't want to beat Obafemi on his way out. Would it matter? Would it matter to anybody on the main roster that he just lost? Unless it was like some massive streak or Jay Malachi, yes. I come on. I mean, would it really? Does it matter? I don't think so. And they could have made Leon the man in NXT and TNA. And now what is he? He's just the X Division champ. Unfortunate. So with the random bait and switch early on with the Tatum Paxley Izzi Dame match basically taking place, you know, earlier on because the Thea Hale match was supposed to open the show with Blake Monroe. I get them not wanting to have her lose on the way out too, I guess. Doesn't matter, not really, but whatever. So having the open challenge happen, I think they could have done it a multitude of better ways than how they did. Thea didn't need to be attacked. She should have just lost straight up to Izzi, but I guess they want her to look like a true fighting champion. You know, the more you lose, the more over you are. NXT getting a 7 overall feels appropriate.
Yeah!
Maybe Cody could have talked me into a 6.5 or a 7.5, but all in all, I feel like that's a good rating to have, a solid 7. New Year's Evil has been better in previous years, but this year overall didn't disappoint. It just didn't wow me. Tomorrow night on Into Somewhere Weekly, we'll be talking about Stone Cold. Is he going to be involved in WrestleMania? Why he didn't appear at WrestleMania 40? Why he didn't face Goldberg? If he's still considering one more match, you know, or is him at Mania just an appearance? How close he came to wrestling Punk and more. That's going to be a lot of fun to discuss. We'll also be talking about AEW Dynamite. Their rating last week, they did 398,000 viewers. That was down from the 511,000 viewer they had on the December 17th edition. So, yikes. That was also Christmas Eve, so it makes sense to be down. Oh, no, this was New Year's Eve. Excuse me. I just saw Eve and I'm looking at it wrong. So, yes, New Year's Eve, 398. Not great. Nate gives it a 7 out of 10. I'm curious what you guys over on Twitter and TikTok give it as well. Let me know. 6 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 2 out of 10 again, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. All right. So some people are high on it. Some people, so if we average it out, it'd be like a 5 or 6 roughly. So we'll be talking about Dynamite, even though they got that piss poor, just shy of 400K rating the week before for New Year's Eve. Let's see what they get this week. Congratulations to BDE. Brandon Does Everything has been officially signed to TNA. Wrestling fan since 9 years old. He signed a contract with TNA, and they confirmed today, the Sportster confirmed it as well. So congrats to the New Jersey native. He was born there, but raised in Atlanta. started making content when he was 14. So that's nuts. Congratulations to him. His dream as a kid was to be an actor, and his dream changed when he saw people making money from playing video games. And he's like, I knew what I wanted, but I only cared about wrestling. So, hey, incredible that he made it this far, and congrats on you, BDE, for the contract. That's massive. Netflix is now the new home of the WWE library for PLEs in the United States. So as of today, Netflix now houses WWE's library of premium live events prior to September 2025, including WrestleMania, SummerSlam, The Rumble, as well as all award-winning documentaries and original programming. This follows the January launch on Netflix, where Monday Night Raw became weekly staple in the global English top 10. So this is obvious to anyone who basically saw it now on Netflix today and over the weekend. Every third title basically was, like, hey, look, it's a classic WWE thing. It's King of the Ring. It's, so interesting to see that. We're going to be talking tomorrow about these NXT call-ups, where the rest of them will be going. We saw Javon Evans sign for Raw. We've got to see where everyone ends up and how it plays out. But Adam Pearce talking to Javon about his future seemed bright. Oh, wait, it happened in a commercial break. Femi getting called up. I'm excited to see where he goes and how they handle him, the ruler. Absolutely. So there's a lot to look forward to and a lot to enjoy. You're not going to want to miss it. Tune in to tomorrow night into Somewhere Weekly, where Cody and I will go ahead and, as I said, we'll be breaking down everything as far as news, rumors, and our Dynamite reviews. So make sure you tune in for that. Plus, at the end of the evening, we'll be playing some more Jackbox party games. So if you want to play with us and have a priority role, basically a pass to make sure you get to play in the games, become a channel member today. Go ahead and click join down below, and it makes sure that you get early access to some of our viewers' content. Everything comes out eventually, but you get it a little bit early. And you also go ahead and support the channel in helping us grow, as well as being, as we said, a priority member when we do game nights or predictions, either or. So thank you so much for those of you that are members and would like to go ahead and continue doing so. Besides that, follow me on Twitter at CountdownEnded. Make sure you hit the like button here and subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/Jake DeMarco. Oba versus Drew at Mania would be excellent, Zach. Hopefully you're doing well. Happy New Year. I'm down for that. I mean, that would be a hell of a match. There's so many fantasy bookings, dream matches between Oba, Femi, and you name it. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes onwards. So many names. Lot to be excited for. So make sure you follow us on all the socials. Check out all friends of the show down below in the description box. Until then, I hope you all stay sexy. And as always, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow for Into Somewhere Weekly.